Hi, my my name is Tim, and I'm talking to invisible people. Which I was just thinking just before. If you don't talk to anyone, you could go a bit crazy. If you talk to yourself, they say, you can go crazy. So what happens if you talk to invisible people? See my problems? Anyway, I wanted to spend time with invisible people because I really enjoy it. And I clearly need to get a better camera or something. My phone keeps just cutting out whenever it wants. I've finished the cobbles. All the cobbles looking fantastic. So that job's finished. So hopefully I'm kind of off my knees, not quite. I've got some walls to build and they're low walls. But you spend some time standing up. So that's a definite step in the right direction. They've got some more work there, and then I've got another place that want a load of gardening. So back to gardening. It's different here. The plants are a bit nicer in this country. In Portugal, like I said, they're so spiky and it's also dry and hot. And the gardens here are beautiful. The place I'm working is just it's a show garden. It's absolutely gorgeous. So it'll actually be really enjoyable. Do some gardening. Anyway, I just wanted to catch up with you, find out how you're doing. You guys. Hope you're all feeling good. It's been it's really beautiful weather here in England. It's like in Portugal. So it's lovely to see it. It's actually getting dry. And I just want to, well, like I said before, getting to know each other more. Messing around, getting to know each other as you would with any mate. And if we're all one, then it's me getting to know myself. I mean, can't wait for some sort of explanation of all of this. I mean, I've come to my understanding, but it'd be really nice to talk to someone, anyone, any invisible people want to talk to me and have a chat. It would be enlightening, to say the least, I imagine. But anyway, I mean, it's a bit like, I was thinking about it. It's a bit like the approach to the heart. The approach to you lot's a bit the same. It's like a sort of little game of hide and seek. Like when you're a kid, and you remember, you're hiding or you're the one searching and get closer and closer, and the person hiding, that heart, that they know you're right there, you're so close, and they try to stay quiet but just start giggling. And it's the cutest thing as a kid, do you remember? Just start giggling, the most useless hiders. And it's feeling a bit like that for me now. Which is nice, because it's like, literally like my heart's giggling at me. Going, I'm right here, I've been here all along, you silly sod. And it's really nice. And I feel like it's going to be like that with a few of you invisible people at some point. Because I see loads of people, it's like this. I'm like the most invisible person ever. Come on. Think I don't know? I know. I know that people know who I am. So how do I get through the wall? I had an amazing dream, actually. Quite a while ago, and I was with my son. And he was kind of smaller than he is now. And we were in some sort of place and buildings and stuff, and I got a bit of shopping. It was all a bit like dreams are. And then we'd gone and we had some fruit and it had got dirty, and we found a tap and washed it off, and then he went off and he had his fruit, and he's sort of just running ahead of me. And he went towards this, it was a little low garden wall and a wall of a building. And it's such a vivid dream. And I was like, wait for me, Zach, wait for me. And he just kept going and just went through the wall, just like flipping Harry Potter. And I was so... It was just like, he'd gone, and I hesitated. And I think I should have tried running through that wall to find him. And I didn't. And I sort of stood there for a minute and then found myself sitting. And that was the dream where a certain someone then asked me if I had the willpower for us. And it was that very dream. And I was so annoyed with myself that I hadn't tried to run through that wall. Since I've had some dreams where I'm very interested in walls, and I've managed to put my hand through and it's soft and pick bits off, and it's like what should be solid is soft. So hopefully I get an opportunity. I'll take a run at it because it should be alright. Unless it was a really thick wall, what happens then? Anyway, just a memory of mine, because yeah, why not? More magic memories. That was a magic memory. It was brilliant. And just that, you know, again, when you first getting to know someone, you know, all those little stories about someone, it's you getting to know them. And it's fun. You know, you meet a girlfriend and you're desperate to tell them all things and desperate to hear things. All I get to do is tell things. But hey, that's all right. She tells me in other ways. Invisible flipping princess. But what else then? What would I tell her? My first surfboard. Tell you about my first surfboard. Bought it. Well, actually, my first surfboard was a windsurfboard, giant windsurfboard, with nothing, no, what do you call it, fin on the bottom. And I first went on it in the snow on the cliffs and nearly went off the flipping cliff. It was very effective. The paths were like a toboggan run, so I sort of realised that was a bit dodgy. Then later that summer, and I must have been about sort of 11 or, I don't know, 10, 11. And I'd carry it down the beach. And it was blooming heavy, but I could get it on my head and carry it down there. And all the sides, the fiberglass was all broken and messed up. And I'd take it in the sea and go on little waves. And I remember this one time, and it was kind of summertime. And I remember sort of managing, I'd get up on it. I mean, you could stand up easy. It was a blooming windsurfboard. So I got on a wave and then, you know, coming in. And I sort of jumped off and the board carried on, no leash. And it carried on. And there was a lady standing, obviously in her swimming stuff. And the board wasn't ready. And it went right between her legs. And she just sort of opened her legs. And I knew instantly, it's like, oh, that is so going to hurt. Because all the fiberglass, man, it would have... And I felt bad. So that was one of my first surfing adventures. A little bit later, when I was perhaps 12 or 13, I bought my first board and wetsuit. And from Hang 10 in Liskeard, Cornwall. And it was, what was it, 7.2 pop-out thruster. Big chunky thing. It was great to learn on. And I got my wetsuit and I got going, you know. And back then, I mean, there was one other guy surfing, bodyboarder. So it was just me and him. And he'd been off, it's a family sort of friend, few years older than me, called Louis. And he did, he went to Australia as a youngster and started bodyboarding. And got right up there. He was competing. I think, as far as I remember, he got to a level. Got to 6th in Europe or something at the time. We're talking sort of 80. Wow, a deer just ran by. Brilliant. He did really well. And so he kind of, at the same time, I got into surfing. And he taught me a bit, showing me how to get out. Showing me the right days, the conditions, and I mean, I was just learning, and I remember one day he manned the first day I remember of a decent swell, so lines coming in, and he was like, come on Tim, we're going down, and he got me ready, waited for the set to pass, and I go, paddle, come on, follow me, and he got me out there. First time, and the other time I've been in storm swell, 4, 7, 8 storm swell, you don't get anywhere. And so I was out, and it was just like, oh shit. And I remember, didn't really catch anything and ended up back in and couldn't get back out again. And, you don't have the strength, you're too tired. And it's a dog now, it's bloody wildlife in here. And so I went in and watched him surfing, and it was going really well. And he was catching, he was really good, he got brilliant at it. So it's just, that was it, there was no one else surfing. Now, it's like most places, certainly in England. I mean, Portugal's fantastic, it's still pretty quiet, especially down south. But it's getting busier and busier. I think it's a bit of a shame, really, so many. But in the end, what else? There's people going past now, natives. So I get a bit, start whispering. That's right, you can whisper with invisible people. And remember going on a surfing trip with a load of mates when I was 16 down to Newquay. Just left school. Oh, it was great. We stayed on a campsite for a week. Went surfing and partying, and it was brilliant fun. I really did enjoy that. And then I was pretty lucky, I mean, it's a shame I left surfing for years because I ended up in sort of Switzerland, and it's not so good for surfing, and I couldn't even go snowboarding because I was always there in the summer, working at festivals and grape picking and stuff, and it was fantastic, but it did mean I stopped surfing for ages, and wish I hadn't. I'm pissed off with myself for not surfing more this last winter. I always look forward to the winters and to space it out and just get into work and can't get there or whatever, but I want to pick it up while I still can, so I'm looking for a surf coach. So if there's any surf coaches out there, any surfers just think they could teach me a bit, I should have always taken lessons. I wasted my time so much on the wrong boards and without some help. And there's still time. I'm not finished yet, I ain't giving up. I can still catch a few good waves, I reckon. So if there's any surfers that want to teach me, I'll have to get my fitness back up and stuff and start eating well, and my board's in Portugal. But if there's anyone who wants to volunteer, any invisible surf teachers, it would be, I'm up for it. I really want to get, I could still do well, it's so frustrating. I still definitely do well. Can't leave, surfing and juggling's been my life. And I'm not doing either of them. It's doing my head in. So there's a few memories. I also I left England, crikey, I don't know, I was about 19, and went off to Switzerland, with a really good group of friends. I met in Falmouth. Group of friends, Bruce, Sabine, Jenny, it was a whole load. And I'd love to be in touch with him again, and I'm sure I will be. Alistair went off to India with him. Sabine was my girlfriend for a little bit. Probably the best one I've ever had. Whoops. It was great. We had a great time, you know, travelling around and working at festivals, picking up rubbish. Need to up my game of work, you know. Could do with earning a bit better money and getting off the floor. I can do a few good things, I reckon. I've got a life mission here. I've got a sole purpose. And I want to start doing things in line with that. With the invisible people. Surely it's going to be so much fun soon. Don't keep me hanging forever, God. It's amazing last couple of nights. Oh. I feel like I've received a download or an upgrade, or I have no idea. But we are truly limitless. And I'm just getting a peek at it and starting to understand why it's a process and why you just surrender and let this unfold. Because it is beyond anything that you can just understand in a moment. It's a lot. Oh, I'm glad I did this. Every time I do this, even though I get no direct feedback, there's all this flipping abstract stuff, which I'm sure will all make sense to me. And it does, it always has, but still don't like it. I want to just desperate for a simple chat with someone about this. Talking about someone. Quick hello to someone. How you doing? I would love to have this conversation just with you, you know, one day. And surely we get to catch up with each other's lives in a way. Otherwise, I'll keep doing this shit. You're going to know way too much about me. But I don't mind. But, you know, then it could end up a bit of a one-sided conversation. You'll go all glazed. And I'm saying something, you'll be like, yeah, no, of course I've heard that one. So I'm keeping a few stories for myself then. But I just want to, as ever, you know, connect with you, connect with everyone. The understanding of what we are is dawning on me to an extent that is, oh my goodness me. No limits. Found you a nice piece of granite, by the way, a nice little bit. I'm going to get a little hole done in it, little necklace, smooth off the edges. So I got you a little present. If you ever wanted to, you know, see me, if you wanted a little bit of romance one day, a bit difficult being romantic with invisible people, you know. But who knows, I might have a bit in me. Might do your poem the weekend. I don't have time in the week. Might do, might not. Oh, I hope you're okay. I know you're going through a lot. Follow your heart, you know the unfolding of what you're in, what you're involved in. And it got big. I wonder what would have happened if you'd just phoned me instead. You know, when I said to you, shall we leave this to the universe, or will you call me? You didn't call me. So it would seem that the universe is going to sort that out. That's a big price for one phone call, don't you think? Or did you just know this had to unfold, all of this? Did everyone know? Am I the last to find out? I think I knew as well. I mean, really, what is going on? It's a flipping sci-fi. It's beyond sci-fi. Anyway, I send you my love absolutely all the time, to be honest. But I want to tell you that I'm sharing it with flipping everyone. Anyway, talk about sharing with everyone. Crikey, shall I do a bit of my book? Shall I tell you the start of the book? I hear invisible people going, yeah. Oh, I will. The start. Now, I wrote this, let me think, about April 2021, I think, more or less. I normally date everything. I didn't date this. So anyway, it's a bit, I might flesh it out a bit. So, give me time. Let's start. Okay, you sitting comfortably? And I shall begin. Hi, my name is Tim, and I have the honour of letting you know the contents of the first ever transmission from space. The following transcript has just been received by me, and I have exclusive access. It is an ongoing signal with vast amounts of information going both ways between a being here on Earth, who seems to have just arrived, called Orson, and another being somewhere out there called Number One. I warn you, there is strong language and adult humour, but I must let you know every word. It starts with Orson obviously upset, as he has come here in search of a friend called Mork, and he can't seem to find him. Anyway, enough from me for now. I give you the love bomb and how to deal with dragons, giants and demons. So, then it goes into a dialogue between, and it's Orson first. Orson calling Mork. Orson calling Mork. Come in, Mork. Come in, please. Orson calling Mork. Come in. Where are you? Number One. Orson, look, I told you not to get your hopes up. He would have heard you years ago if he... What, Number One? What? If he was still alive? Come on, you know there is still a chance. I assume you have managed to connect to their communication system. The internet. Whatever it is called, yeah. I have, and have started to search for Mork and his Earth name too. And? Well, there is a lot to get through. I will update you. Number One? Yeah? You remember that training and all the simulations we did for this latest, best ever cloaked landing pod? Yeah? Can you remind me of your checklist of unnecessary steps? Well, we haven't used them much, and it is important to set the trajectory, give you some sandwiches as I close you in, and remember to set the return module codes in the pod, which I think now I forgot. Yeah, I am looking at a blank return module. But hey, no big deal. No, it is something more important than that. What is the most important aspect of our cloaking device? That is easy. We get through the atmosphere by distorting time and space and touch down seamlessly on the ocean surface and disappear beneath the ocean waves. Wonderful, really. How was it? You gave me a tuna sandwich, and I would hazard a guess you didn't check the tides, or you just managed to miss the blue part of this blue planet. You mean you have my tuna sandwich? Where is your one then? Please, Number One, focus. Try to imagine what happens when you land on the Earth and not the ocean. Well, shit, then the emergency protocols would kick in and any number of things could happen, depending on the habitat. And these pods are highly adaptable. The pod has shrunk and become the nearest thing to where we landed, which was a human, a female human. I am now in the pod inside a person, cloaked, yet I can see everything. That must be strange. To say the least, I can see her thoughts. Emotions like my own, but different. I can see through her eyes and mine almost at the same time. The people around are all shapes and sizes. I sense their inhibitions, anxieties and joy at being where they are. Separate entities, yet all the same. Interacting but hiding, and here lying together almost naked. Naked? Where are you, Orson? That, number one, you should know by now. I am on a beach, Amado Beach. Emma tells me that is my host's name. And the people are dressed just like that research film you watch so much. Baywatch, is it? I think you have died and gone to heaven then. You have been too long on that ship, you know. Yet your observation is kind of correct. I have been here just minutes, yet what I feel from my host, and so for my host, has taken me by surprise. She is just incredible. Orson, you sound weird. I think the pod may be affecting your brain. You were supposed to link with the ocean, not a human. Number one, oh shit, what have I done? I just know, I have fallen. I can feel human love completely. She is no ordinary human. She is my one. You banged your head, didn't you? Look, we have a problem. We are about to lose signal. I will work out how to get you back. Be careful. Learn about the people and animals. Remember, it is a fact-finding mission. I will return with the full inventory list from before and see what is left on Starship Earth. She just laughed. I nearly fainted. She's greeting someone who looks like her. If everyone is like this, I think it will all be fine here. I will talk to you later, number one. Don't fall for a human. You get all lovey-dovey and start thinking all love songs are about you, and you're just jealous. Nanu nanu, nanu nanu. This is where there is a break in the transmission for about a year or two. Number one calling Orson. Come in, Orson, please. Number one, finally, oh shit, it is good to hear from you. So good. And you, my friend, how has it been? Well, it has been interesting, to say the least. I am sending my report now. Every human is beautiful within, yet the things they do are not. Some can be saved, most if we are lucky. Others prefer to live in ignorance of the heart and embrace lies and hate. I have researched these groups and the report has some names, some rotten apples as they say, yet the seed is still within. I have learnt a lot about myself watching them all. Oh, number one, the damage done by the few is disgraceful. You sound different, older somehow. Are you okay? Where are you? What about Emma? Oh, Emma, you were right. To fall for a human is tough. It doesn't break the heart. It breaks the part of us that cover the heart. I lost her, number one. I was with her for 10 minutes, and the pod found a way to the ocean. What do you mean? Well, you know, she needed to relieve herself. Spend a penny is the polite way to say it. Ha! You mean she went for a wee and the pod completed its mission to get you to the ocean? Wow, so women do that too then? Shut up, number one. Look, it is okay. I have a plan, and I am sure you will see her again. What plan? What do you mean? It is simple. We have received a signal and a story from someone there on Earth. When you tell the story there on Earth, it should come to be. It is perfect. I am sending you the first full installment now. What is it about? Who wrote it? That is hard to tell, as we keep finding the story kind of everywhere. Yet it must be you who tells it. It must be said aloud by you, Orson. This is an order from on high. Okay, anything to just move forward. I feel stuck. I just keep thinking of Emma. Funny enough, so does the guy who wrote the story. What? Never mind. Have a good night's sleep and we can start work tomorrow. Okay, number one. Good night and great to talk to you. You too. We will call tomorrow. We? Sleep, Orson. Good morning, Orson. Are you ready? Yes, I have looked through it and I like it. Disjointed, but it is just the beginning. Who is this Tim guy then? We must just stick to the plan. Things will come clear. Did you have good dreams? Yes. How did you know? How did you know? They were wonderful, completely immersed and aware. I was with Emma again and all sorts of other people. Fantastic. This story is very powerful, Orson. The responsibility that may come your way is beyond belief, yet you must. I must. The point of no return is long gone. It is time to tell the story. It was without a title. I considered and have decided on the love bomb and how to deal with giants, dragons and demons. What do you think? Perfect, as if by magic. And so they settled down. Number one would remain quiet as Orson told the story. He thought he was just telling number one, unaware that their transmissions were being monitored all along, and the story would be transmitted quite literally everywhere. That's just the beginning. Bit of a laugh, bit of a way of, I don't know, expressing a story, isn't it, really? I really enjoyed it when I was writing it, and like I say, I just write things, I don't go back over them. I may well flesh it out a bit, but there's more. There's a lot of scope to my story. Anyway, love and hope, lots of love, and really hope to see someone soon, you know. That someone that there can be openness about this subject, this adventure, this story. It's just actually talk to people that are on the same page, you know. I don't want to hide things. I'm ready to be vulnerable. I'm ready to open up. But it's hard to know who, where and when, you know. Anyway, lots of love to you all.